Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Misty Moss, and if you are new here, I am a boudoir photographer, self-love, self-portrait artist, and self-love advocate. And on this channel we talk about all of those things, how to deepen your connection with yourself, and work that back into your photography practice. And if any of that sounds of interest to you, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that bell, and also join my Facebook community because it's really cool and super fun. And without further ado, today I want to talk to y'all about body neutrality. So you may have heard of the term body positivity, but perhaps body neutrality is a new word for you, and something that maybe you are just learning how to explore and how to approach. So this video is for you. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's talk about the stuff. So my setup today is a little bit weird. I really hate how there's this giant ottoman separating me from you and you feel so far away. But the light in my living room is just so bright right now that I could not get any consistent lighting. It's driving me crazy. So we have this set up instead. So please bear with me in the fact that it feels very cluttered and dark. So come closer. So before we talk about body neutrality, I want to talk about body positivity, and I just want to acknowledge the history of the body positive movement because we will be talking about both things in tandem. They are not interchangeable, however they are definitely related, and two different heads to the same coin. So I really wanted to just acknowledge the history of body positive movement, which was created by Black women and Black plus size women specifically to talk about how marginalized bodies are devalued in our current culture. The body positive movement as we know it today has been incredibly whitewashed and appropriated for conventionally sized bodies. Body image issues are not the same as systemic oppression to bodies that don't exist in this realm of conventional beauty and thin-sized standards. So if you really want to learn more about that movement, please visit the link down below. I will leave it in the description for you to go do some research with me. And it's very important that we know the history of these movements and where they came from. Okay, so now I will be primarily talking about body neutrality as a way to love and respect your body without having to love the way your body looks. I think that's a very important distinction. So here is a little table that kind of shows you what body positivity is about, and then what body neutrality is about. So body positivity is loving how you look to feel good about yourself, which has a lot of value and is super important, but is different than body neutrality, which is loving yourself and feeling good regardless of how you look. I really want to emphasize that both movements are very important and have a lot of pros to them. However, they are both different and kind of give you different tools to work with in your self-love journey. In a culture that has us at war with our bodies and how we are perceived externally, jumping right into body positivity and asking yourself to just love yourself, that's a lot. It's a lot to ask of yourself, and body neutrality kind of presents a middle ground and kind of a safe zone for you to work from. I would like to read a quote from Sonia Renee Taylor that I think perfectly sums up the body neutral movement and how you can use that to move forward in your self-love journey. So here we go. Concepts like self-acceptance and body neutrality are not without value. When you have spent your entire life at war with your body, these models offer a truce. But you can have more than a ceasefire. You can have radical self-love because you are already radical self-love. If you haven't already read Sonia Renee Taylor's book, The Body is Not an Apology, I highly recommend it, especially if you're just starting out and you just are learning about what body neutrality is. That book is just so beautiful and it does a really good job of helping you unpack all of that inner bullshit and kind of find a way to move forward with it, and to how to work through that to find a place of love and acceptance for yourself. So the importance of body neutrality and how it's different from body positivity is it can teach you and show you how to love yourself separately from how you view yourself and your external presence in the world. It teaches you how to view your importance and valuableness as not related to how you look and how you externally exist to the other people around you, and to our culture. Our culture places so much weight on how we look outwardly, and you are so much more than just a body and just your external presence in the world. Body neutrality kind of offers you the tools to find that love and adoration and respect for yourself, regardless of how you feel about how you look. Once you start becoming more comfortable finding these moments of deep love and respect for yourself, regardless of how your body looks, it's actually easier to access those feelings of body positivity as well. They kind of are just like a happy side effect and like a happy consequence of body neutrality and just finding your value as like an entire human being instead of trying to find the value in how your body looks and kind of placing all of your merit on that external existence instead of working on loving yourself from the inside out. And I know that sounds super cheesy and cliche, but it's so true that you kind of need to work inside out to feel that deep, deep love and respect, and it kind of becomes unshakable. You can have bad body days and not really like how you look, but it's not going to make you feel less as a person. And I think that's a really, really important tool to have and a resource to kind of explore. You always want to love yourself no matter what you look like. It's really important. Another reason why loving yourself from the inside out is really important is it's a more embodied approach to self-love. And I know we've heard embodiment kind of thrown around as this like buzzword lately, but it's really important to take that like fully embodied approach to celebrating yourself and loving yourself. When you're focused on prioritizing an outsider's perspective of your body, it's a disembodied approach because you're thinking of those external perceptions of you, and it could even be your external perception of yourself, but you're thinking from the outside in instead of the opposite. When you flip the script and you start appreciating and respecting and valuing yourself from the inside out, it's fully an embodied approach because you're in your body thinking about it first, and learning to love yourself inside, outside. Body neutrality allows us to feel respect and adoration for ourselves as a whole, and it encourages us to celebrate ourselves in our entirety. It encourages a fully realized and fully embodied whole version of you because you're a whole human. You're not like a body and a soul. You're like a whole person. So body neutrality is just a really cool way to kind of like fuse those two ideas, and to love your whole self instead of just your body, because you're kind of more than a body. I don't know. Just, yeah, you're a pretty cool human, and I think you should appreciate all of you. Okay. All of that blabbing aside, how do you be more body neutral? How can you work towards this elusive goal and incorporate it more into your life? Tip number 1 is watch your self-talk. Watch how you are talking about yourself, to yourself. Watch how you're talking about yourself to your friends, to colleagues, to family, to strangers maybe you're talking to, casual interactions. What beliefs are you enforcing with those words? Are those beliefs that you want to keep? Are they beliefs maybe that have been planted there by culture or society that are a little bit outdated and you don't actually want to believe? If you heard your friend talking about themselves, how you're talking about yourself, would you call them on it? Would you be a little bit uncomfortable? It's important to recognize how we talk about ourselves because those are the beliefs that we are enforcing about ourselves inside. And if those are outdated and they are a reflection of other people's beliefs and not actually your own, it's time to kind of like reverse a little bit and rewrite the script. How you talk to yourself is also subconsciously how you view and think about others. And even sometimes how you talk to people, which is, and if those thoughts are negative, and you're not watching and checking those thoughts, then maybe you're not actually a safe body neutral person to be around. I'm going to share a quote with you that is from Sonia Renee Taylor again because she's just amazing and I could talk about her all day. So I'll share this with you. The bodies you share space with are afraid you are judging them with the same venom they have watched you use to judge yourself. Yeah. I mean, it's true. If you're a person who talks negatively about yourself all of the time, people are going to start thinking, oh my God, is that how they think about me? And plant the seeds of the thoughts and the beliefs that you want to cultivate. So if it feels like maybe those positive or neutral thoughts aren't coming as easily as those negative ones, that's super normal also, because we as humans do have a negativity bias. We tend to think negative thoughts first. So planting those positive or neutral beliefs is actually, it is work. And it's gonna be harder, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to access, and the more you're just gonna actively do it. But you gotta actively do it first. So some seeds I like to plant about body neutrality kind of revolve around what your body does, instead of how your body looks, or things about your body physically. So I like to think at this point, like, your body is an instrument, it's not an ornament, it's a tool, it's a really fucking cool tool. So kind of focusing on those things that you really appreciate for your body, and how it like interfaces with the world too is also like a really good way to kind of work on that like neutral self-talk. I wrote a couple down that I've used before in my affirmation journaling, and that I just kind of like to keep on the back burner in case I'm having like a negative day, and it isn't as easy to access those thoughts. I like to have just like a list of things that I can kind of like say to myself to kind of like bring those thoughts to the forefront. So here are a couple. My body does incredible things for me. My body is a powerful instrument and tool. I am worthy and valuable because I am worthy and valuable. I am more than my body. My body is how I interface and experience with the beautiful world around me. And sometimes I like to get kind of cheesy and say the things I'm grateful for about that kind of interfacing experience. Like, I'm happy my body allows me to hug my friends. I'm grateful that it allows me to see the sunset, and kind of things like that. Okay, so we worked on our self-talk, we've checked ourselves, and we've kind of replaced some of those old negative beliefs with some more neutral ones. My next tip is recognizing that bodies are meant to change. Make peace with the changes and evolve with those changes internally as you evolve externally. Bodies will always change. They sag, they wrinkle, they grow, they droop, they get freckles, they get beauty marks, they get whatever. They are meant to change. They always will. Like, as soon as you reach a place of positivity or neutrality with your body, you're gonna have to work on it again, because your body's gonna change, and you're gonna have to make a new peace with your new body. So it's an everlasting experience. It's not like you just get to like check off a bunch of boxes and you're like, I'm done, I love myself forever. No, that's not really how it works, because something's gonna come up and something's gonna change, and then you're gonna have to greet that new thing. So kind of as soon as you make peace with the fact that your body will be forever evolving as you go throughout your life, the easier it's going to be for you to kind of accept that and to just lean into those changes and kind of see them as an expansion of the person inside of you reflected externally. And that sounds really cheesy, but it's kind of true. Sometimes the hardest times to find things to adore and respect about ourselves are when our bodies are going through change. When our bodies are changing physically, I think it triggers us a lot internally. It brings up a lot of wounds that our culture has put there. So a lot of those changes, like pregnancy or weight gain, aging, getting a new chronic illness, something that changes your external body, can really trigger deep wounds inside of us. And body neutrality kind of offers some tools as well to help mitigate those feelings as they arise through these changes, by being able to have that really strong, firm respect and like core value for yourself, not based on your external experience. These feelings come up because they are an attachment to our external value that we have been conditioned to believe is our most valuable asset, like how we look and how we are perceived. So it's super important recognizing that changing is just part of the process. It's an evolution, and that you are valuable regardless of how your body looks or whatever change it is currently going through. Number 3, I kind of blabbed about this one in number 1 a little bit, so it's going to feel a little bit repetitive because I kind of took some of my notes from this part and just like squished them into the first tip, but I'm going to reiterate it anyways because it's really important. And that is to just appreciate all of the amazing things that your body does for you. Body neutrality is all about valuing yourself outside of your physical appearance. So this is super important to kind of recognize what your body does for you that's not attached to like a physical look. So what are some super cool things that your body allows you to do? It could be dancing, playing, smelling the freshly cut grass, looking at the sunset, like I said earlier, hugging friends, laughing, playing board games, painting, or drawing, creating art, creating new experiences. It could be as simple as just appreciating how your body breathes on its own, how it keeps you alive and functioning without you even having to think or worry about it. It is just always looking out for you, and keeping you sustained through this life, and that's pretty damn cool. So it's really important to kind of just take some time and recognize, hey, maybe I don't love how my body looks. That's okay. I'm still a super rad human. I'm still super valuable. I still have all these amazing cool things to offer my friends and my family in the world. And my body is just really cool, and it's a really sweet tool that just exists and keeps me alive, and that's pretty awesome. All right, those are my 3 tips for cultivating more body neutrality in your life. I hope that you found this video kind of helpful. I really am passionate about this subject because I think it's a really important and unique way to find love and respect for ourselves without demanding too much right away. It's a really great first step or middle step. And like I said, hopefully kind of working on body neutrality will introduce little moments of just like accidental body positivity where you find those moments of like love for how your body looks once you find love for yourself, not relating to how your body looks. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head. If you liked this video, I would love to hear about it. Just comment down below your experience with working through body neutrality. If this is the first time you've heard about it, also let me know. That's really cool. I'm really glad that I could introduce you to this. Definitely do some more research. Definitely check out that book I was talking about by Sonia Renee Taylor. She goes into a lot of depth about it, and it's just a really great read. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that bell, join my Facebook group, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.